In this video, I'll be showing you exactly what you should be doing in order to get more inbound leads as well as inbound clients to your business, only using organic views coming from YouTube. And the concepts that I will be discussing here are divided into three types. The first one is what you should be doing with your audiences, aka your ICPs, and what you should be doing with yourself as a personal brand, as an individual, what you should be doing with your offer in order to make out a content strategy which stands alone in your marketplace from your competitors and also brings money to your business, right? So let's get straight into the first one, what you should be doing with your audiences. So you should be identifying who you are actually working with, who you are actually targeting. So for that, you should be identifying the demographics and the psychographics of your audiences. So if I want to scale your YouTube channel, your business YouTube channel, I would do exactly this. I would research about the demographics and the psychographics of our audiences, which we commonly refer as customer avatar, so that the targeting of the contents that you post on YouTube will be better. So that the whole content strategy performance will also be improvised. For example, if you research more about the demographics, age, gender, location, income, and education, you can personalize the contents more to them so that the YouTube's algorithm will also be understanding who you are actually looking for and distribute your contents more to your ICP. So this is exactly what purpose that your customer avatar serves, right? And researching about your psychographics delivers the content ideations that you are looking for. For example, the subtopics that are inside of psychographics are pains, desires, goals, and motivators that your ICPs are already holding. For example, the pain and the desires that they hold will be converted into content ideations. For example, how to scale your e-com businesses or how to run more ads, run more efficient ads, right? So these are some of the content ideations. These are some of the pains that most business owners, that most of your ICPs would have, right? So you should be solving those problems, those pain points, those the desires that they have in your contents, in your content strategy itself, right? So this is the primary purpose of researching about the demographics and the psychographics, aka the customer avatar, right? And the goals and motivators that we saw will be paying off in the examples, aka the bottom of funnel contents, right? So these are also content ideations, but a different one, which actually convert the views into your clients. For example, client interviews, client testimonials, client results. So the goals and the motivators that they hold can be converted into bottom of funnel contents. And before that, you also have to answer a simple question asked by yourself: what problem takes more time to solve for my clients? If these content ideations are not enough for yourself, please ask this exact question: what problem takes more time to solve my for my clients? And you can also take reference from your present clients, past records, so that you can also make some other content editions which worth like months and months of posting, right? So you should also be passing the surface level, because no one is going to watch a full course video. For example, if you are only targeting e-com business owners running ads, you should not be posting beginner friendly contents, right? So that is the exact reason why you should be passing the surface level. You should pass the surface level of the problems that are the common problems that are faced by your ICPs, so that you can also solve a narrow problem which actually converts into your paying clients. So this is the purpose of passing the surpassing the surface level, and this is exactly what you should be doing with your audiences right now. Let's get into the second concept, what you should be doing with yourself. So at first, the first and foremost thing that most business owners are missing out is find your competitive edge. But most business owners would not even know what competitive edge actually means. Competitive edge is something that makes you as a human, which makes your content, which makes you as a person different from your competitors. So if you are in a crowded market, make sure you are standing alone from your competitors in order to attract your ICPs from your competitors to yourself. So this is the exact concept that you should be following. Competitive edge. Find your competitive edge. It may be your lifestyle. You can have a flashy lifestyle, but it is not necessary to be a flashy lifestyle guy. For example, the LARPing contents. No, it is not necessary. You can still post a lifestyle contents, and make your content strategy stand alone in the marketplace from your competitors, right? And motivational speeches. So if you are a person who could give good motivational speeches to people, you can post those contents because it also makes your content strategy stand alone from your competitors. Contrarian beliefs. For example, let's say your competitors are believing in point B, but you know that point B is better than point A, right? So it also makes yourself stand alone, and you can post those contrarian beliefs on your content ideations, on your content strategy, so that your ICPs would also think that you are something different. You are someone at the top of your, the niche. So who could post Q&As in 2026, right? So this is an exact money making angle you should be thinking of, so that your content strategy would stand alone from your competitors. So not only lifestyle contents, motivational speeches, contrarian beliefs, Q&As, there are also several other money making angles. Make more contents and target more make money online type of guys, so that YouTube's algorithm will be also pushing the contents that you post on YouTube to your ICPs, to your wider audiences, to also to your adjacent market audiences, right? So this is exactly what you should be doing. Find your competitive edge. Should be something that is actually fresh and new to the niche. So if your title and thumbnail shows up in your ICP's, homepage or search tab, they should immediately think that it is something new in our niche, right? So that is the exact whole concept here. The competitive edge cannot be copied because it is something fresh and new to the niche, and your audiences will also be noticing, recognizing the contents, the type of new and fresh contents coming to the niche, and that is exactly what we want from yourself as a personal brand, as an individual, right? Use your competitive edge as top of funnel contents because it has a higher probability of going viral, of going out there. For example, so I go. So this is something that makes himself stand alone in the marketplace because no consulting business owners are posting productivity hacks, how to become so productive it feels illegal. So these are some of the contents that makes him stand alone from his competitors, right? And likewise, breast. Things I have learned getting rich at 21. So no post sellers would post content relating to his personal life. And if you see here, it also goes viral. 18x, 9.4x. So these has a higher probability of hitting outlier list. These contents can be used as your top of funnel contents, which usually gets a higher viewership, and you can process the viewership into your middle of funnel contents and bottom of funnel contents. And the bottom of funnel contents, as we discussed here, the examples and the results from your audience's goals and motivators, right? So I've mentioned the top of funnel contents and the bottom of funnel contents that you need to post. The top of funnel contents should make yourself stand out from the market, and the bottom of funnel contents should hold the goals and motivators of your audiences. And the middle of funnel contents is where the actual conversions made. It should nurture and educate the audiences with your coaching program. And this is exactly what you should be doing with your offer. Make contents around your offer, and this is exactly where our middle of funnel contents also fall. Educate and nurture your audiences. So this is the primary objective of our middle of funnel contents. You should also be educating, nurturing, and also solving the problems, solving the pain points that they hold in their businesses. Most business owners in my prospects list, in my lead list, are just posting the wrong content ideations, the wrong contents, right? They may hold a consulting business, right? But all they post on YouTube is that some global crisis, global news, right? And they will all blame YouTube for not giving any release, for not giving any clients to their business. So no, it is never going to convert into their actual sales, right? And the reason is simple: they are not making contents around their offer. And you as a business owner should never do such a mistake in your content strategy. How can I make a content around my offer? Solving specific problems that your ICPs are already holding, that your ICPs are already searching for. For this, you can use vidIQ, as I mentioned before in my previous videos. If not, please check it out. I've mentioned clearly about vidIQ so that you can search for the active problems, active pain points that your ICPs are already searching for in your niche, right? For example, the day in my life type of vlogs. So even though they may seem like a top of funnel content, you can still post them in middle of funnel content also, because it also educates and nurtures your audiences with your offer. And the purposes of posting middle of funnel content, so the contents that are dealt with your offer, make them to realize that you know what you're talking about. These contents should target only your ICPs, not the wider group of audiences. For example, the top of funnel contents targets your ICPs and also a wider group of audiences, your adjacent market audiences, right? The viewership, and that is the that is the end product of your top of funnel contents. Also, it grabs a larger viewership, and your middle of funnel contents, I mean the bottom of funnel contents, grabs only your ICPs, targets only your ICPs, and likewise, middle of funnel contents also should target only your ICPs, so that the maximum conversions will be happening at the end, at the bottom of your funnel, and make them to realize that you know what you are talking about. For example, in this video, Alex Amazi is fixing his ads, his business ads, right? So in this video, he is affirmating that he knows what he is talking about, and the prospects is ICBs who are watching these kind of videos will be nurtured that. So this guy is knowing what he is actually talking about, and I can also work with him, right? So that is what I have mentioned here, makes the viewer to think he knows the stuff, gives immense value to the viewers, a content format which most of his competitors won't be posting. So Alex Armosi is also following this exact strategy that I'm discussing in this video, right? The ideations and scripts of the video are the hardest part. The editing, the thumbnail creation, the posting, the SEO are all the easiest part, but the ideation and the script of the video are the hardest part. They can't find your competitive edge, because if you ask Claude, if you ask ChatGPT to find your competitive edge, it is helpful in assisting in finding your competitive edge, but not as a whole. You, as a person, should find your competitive edge. As for me, I'm good in yapping about my dreams, yapping about my, the stuffs that I'm going through all these days. Likewise, you should also be finding your competitive edge as a business owner and start to post them. Don't use AI for your content ideations, because it is always a AI stuff. Please do your content ideations, please do your content strategy by yourself, so that you can maximize the performances, you can randomize the contents in a way of a funnel, right? Make the content ideations by yourself, make your content strategy yours and not as others copy. For example, the competitive edge, again talking about competitive edge, you as a person can only find your competitive edge, not some others, the copy. You should not act as a copycat. You should be doing your own competitive edge. You should also be doing your own content ideations and strategy as well. Even though AI can be used for minimalistic edits, thumbnails and scripts, and as I mentioned before, these are some of the easiest part of making content editions, of making the contents on YouTube, so that you can use AI on these exact areas, and also the scripts, but not as a whole, as a bullet points, yeah, but not in a word for word format. And that's it in this video. Peace.